I couldn't scream, I couldn't move. I just watched it stand over me. They say the terror of sleep paralysis ends when you finally wake up. But for some, the nightmare follows them out of the dream. Welcome to the waking's horror. We dive deep into the edge of sleep, sharing true stories where the dream is merely a preview of the terror waiting in the dark. This is the first true story, submitted by Alex in 2017. Alex knew the feeling, the sudden inability to move, the buzzing in his ears. It was his brain waking up faster than his body. It was always temporary, but this time it was different. He felt a pressure, a dense, cold weight settling slowly onto his chest. It was heavy, too heavy to be a dream. And then he felt the thing beneath the weight shift. It wasn't breathing, it was grinding. Our second story comes from Maria. For her, the paralysis always happened outside of her room. Maria was standing in her own hallway. She was facing the full-length mirror, but her reflection wasn't moving. She knew she was dreaming, but she couldn't pull her eyes away. The reflection started to smile, a slow, stretching, terrible smile. It was her face, but not her mind, and she tried to run, to scream, but she was glued to the floor. Then she heard a sound from the reflection's throat. Not a voice, a name, Maria ... I can see what you're seeing now. We've covered 2, but we have 3 more stories to share, and they only get darker from here. Don't go anywhere. When Ryan lived alone, his sleep paralysis always came with a sound, an old static-filled radio in the corner of his dark room. He lay there, helpless, listening to the static build. But then a voice cut through the noise, not talking to him, but talking about him. He is currently unable to assist you. Please stand by. The feeding process is almost complete. The paralysis broke when the thing touched his hair. But when he finally sat up, the radio was melted to the wall, and the voice was gone. Only the static remained. This is one of the most terrifying cases of sleep paralysis we've ever received. 2 roommates who experienced the exact same thing. Mark and David slept in the same room, separated only by a curtain. One night they both woke up simultaneously, both frozen solid facing the curtain. They both felt a presence in the middle of the room. And they both, at the exact same moment, saw the same thing. 2 small, pale hands slowly pulling the curtain apart. The thing they saw had a name, and they both heard it in their mind. I've seen your past. It's time to see mine. One final story remains. Don't let your guard down yet. This last story comes from a viewer named Chloe. She told us she would often wake up paralyzed and see a tall, slender figure standing motionless in the corner of her bedroom, just watching. She called it the observer. For months, this was the routine. The fear was immense, but it was predictable. Until one night, she woke up frozen as usual and looked to the corner. It was empty. A wave of relief washed over her, so powerful she almost cried. She thought maybe, just maybe, it was finally over. She relaxed as much as she could while paralyzed and closed her eyes for a second. When she opened them, the observer was no longer in the corner. It was inches from her face, leaning over her bed. It slowly raised a single long finger and pointed. Not at her, but at the empty corner where it used to stand. Then it whispered in her ear, a voice like rustling leaves. Someone new is coming to watch. I just wanted to introduce you. Chloe says she hasn't had sleep paralysis since. She's too afraid to sleep at all. These stories confirm what many fear, that during sleep paralysis, we aren't alone. We are being watched. Was it real? If you have a true horror story, a nightmare that followed you when you woke up, submit it to the Wakings Horror using the email in the description. If you enjoyed these real horror stories animated, hit that subscribe button. The veil between the waking world and the nightmare is thin, and we are just getting started.